So it looks like Jason Peters is signed with the Dallas Cowboys. Just think of it. After 821 years, Jerry Jones finally figured out how to do contracts. Dallas still stinks. You're right the way, King Dingbat here. So the Philadelphia Eagles are in an even stronger position than any of us possibly could imagine headed into the season. Why? Because the Dallas Cowboys are left panicking to fill a left tackle spot by signing a 40-year-old left tackle who doesn't have much left. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe for daily Eagles content, daily NFL content. We will be streaming every Eagles game. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you know the deal. Just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. So, let's get right into this, right? Because I have a lot to say on this today. Because, today is Labor Day and I've been out all day with the family, doing some family things, dealing with family things. And I come back, and all I see is more Holmes videos about Philly 500. What is it, must be like 2 or 3 or 4 of them. And they're all talking about how Eagle fans are upset and mad that the Dallas Cowboys signed Jason Peters. What are you kidding? We're ecstatic. We're ecstatic because we know Jason Peters doesn't have much left. I understand the Dallas Cowboys are desperate, but you would think a team that really has real, true Super Bowl aspirations would be willing to do a little more than go out and get a 40-year-old left tackle who doesn't have much left. I love Jason Peters. He's a Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Famer. He's a legend. But as long as he's donning this cowboy blue, he's the enemy. He's the enemy. All right, so it says, welcome Cowboys Nation, Jason Peters. I've never seen a team that couldn't sign a guy in, for a week, a washed-up guy who probably can't be getting that much money, who's going to end up on your practice squad. You have to actually, take days and days and days to figure out a contract? That's pathetic. Howie Roseman running circles around you guys. Circles. I can't believe this guy, Mark Holmes, man. He's going crazy. It's funny to me. I gotta hear every day. I gotta watch videos about myself. I already know who I am. Well, I need to watch videos on it. But he puts out Dallas Cowboys Mark Holmes propaganda, right? Complaining that Philly 500 likes everybody the Eagles picks up. It likes everybody. You don't ever watch any of my videos. You haven't seen me go off on Derek Barnett. You didn't hear me talk about Alshon Jeffrey when they signed it. There's a lot of guys I didn't like the Eagles sign. But at least I don't do this, Mark. At least I don't do this. At least I don't go out there and trash a guy who's on another team for years and years and years. Or you go into free agency and you say, I don't want this guy, he's trash. I don't want this guy, he's trash. Then you get him, and then he's the greatest thing that ever played, that ever was. Jason Peters, he's already teaching the guys in the line this and this and that. You hated the guy years ago. He stunk, he was fat, he was overrated. Now he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Get the hell out of here. You're feeding people crap. Just say it. He played for the enemy, and now he's on our team, and I got to root for him. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. But Jason Peters signed. I'm sorry I had to get that out, okay? I had to hear this crap all day. Every time I go on YouTube, there's my face. There's my face. Mark Holmes, there's my face. I know I look like Denzel Washington, but come on, Come on. All right, so Jason Peters signs, and in all seriousness, Cowboys needed help at the left tackle position. So it makes sense, I guess. I still think that if I was the Cowboys, I would have liked to see something else. The problem you're going to run into, Cowboy fans, is this, and I'm really happy that Jason Peters, in all seriousness, is playing. I hope he takes all the Cowboys' money. I hope he goes there and does what he always does. Okay, he's going to play he'll play one game, then he'll play. The next game, he'll play a quarter, take himself out, come back in the third quarter, take himself out, and then he'll miss the fourth quarter. Next game, he won't play. Or he'll be play the second quarter, then play the fourth quarter. Like he can't play whole games week to week to week to week to week. So you're gonna have a problem with that. But other than that, I wish Jason Peters nothing but the best. When he takes off that satanic star on the helmet, which it's a satanic star. Let's not fool ourselves. And he retires as a Philadelphia Eagle. Then we put him in the Hall of Fame. But right now he's a Dallas Cowboy, so I don't want to think about it. But as far as being mad, no, I'm happy. I would rather them do that than of trade for a guy like Andre Dillard or something like that and got a guy who could actually help them. I wouldn't want that. Now, let's talk about some Eagles stuff too. I had to get that all out. Well, I wish Jason Peters nothing but the best. Just don't win any games. All right, so today the Eagles had some things happen, right? The biggest of which is Anthony Harris got cut off the practice squad. Okay, it looks like the Eagles terminated his contract in order to give him the opportunity to go play for another team. Okay, he's a veteran. He's been around a while. Somebody should pick him up. Aaron Wilson said Eagles cut Anthony Harris from practice squad and signed Mac McCain. So they bring back Mac McCain, and Anthony Harris is the guy that goes out. Kind of surprising to me, a little bit surprising, but I mean, Anthony Harris really hadn't impressed me much in preseason. It was really disappointing in actuality when you looked at Jaquiski Tartt and Anthony Harris, both of which I thought were not good. Now, me personally, I probably would have kept Anthony Harris over Kevon Wallace based upon this year in training camp. However, you've got to stick with the young guy. It makes sense how he's doing the right thing. You want to keep the young guy just in case. You want to give him another year. Anthony Harris, I think he's on the other side of his career. So the Eagles, it makes sense to me. It makes complete and total sense to me that they would cut Anthony Harris. Now, we got to talk about Andre Dillard. So as you guys know, one of the things the Eagles really are trying to do during training camp and preseason is keep guys healthy, right? We saw it in the way they practiced, no live tackling to the ground. A lot of practices were only like 58 minutes, just over an hour, things like that. They did whatever they could to keep guys from getting injured. And I guess for the most part, it has worked. One case in which it didn't, because things happen, you can't avoid everything, was Andre Dillard got injured. He fractured his arm, and he will be having surgery tomorrow to repair it, okay? Eagles backup left tackle, and this comes from NBC Sports, by the way. Eagles backup left tackle Andre Dillard will have surgery to repair his fractured forearm on Tuesday. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported on Monday afternoon. Dillard, 26, fractured his forearm at practice last Thursday. Initial word was that the injury wouldn't end his season, and that's holding true, but he will need surgery. The timetable for Andre Dillard's return is about 4 to 6 weeks, so Dillard should return sometime in October. Sometime in October, he's going to return. That's really not that bad. I mean, I was thinking initially late November, maybe in December, somewhere around there. He's coming back in October. That'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be ready to go. And it's going to be interesting to see if the Eagles trade him or if they keep him. Because I kind of think this, and I said this in a video the other day, with him going out, there's other opportunity for players, especially Josh Sills, right? Josh Sills is somebody nobody thought was going to make this team. He ends up making this team, and the reports were that it was Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland liked him a lot. He really was impressed with him, and he wanted to work with him. Now, we know Jeff Stoutland. He's an absolute stud coach, absolutely turns guys who you wouldn't think would be anybody in this league into really good players. I mean, look at the work he's done with guys like Jordan Mailata, moving Landon Dickerson over to left guard. You have Jason. I mean, you can go down the list of names on the offensive line that Stoutland has just turned into stars. Okay, so now with Dillard out, you're going to have an opportunity to take a look at guys like Josh Sills and things like that with the second team. If one of those guys can develop, okay, LaRaven Clark, whoever it is, if one of those guys can actually develop and, Stoutland looks at it and says, you know what, this guy, he's ready to be a backup left tackle. It may open the door for a trade down the road with Andre Dillard, because you're going to get looks for these guys. These guys are going to get more opportunities now with Dillard out than with him in. So it could become a blessing in disguise. We're going to have to wait and see, obviously, but this could become a total blessing in disguise if somebody like Seals develops. Now, there's a flip side to that, right? There's a flip side. These guys could go out there and Stoutland could be like, these guys ain't got it. These guys cannot compete as a backup left tackle. These guys are not it. We cannot trade Andre Dillard. No way. Not at all. Okay? And it could work the total opposite way. You just don't really know. So we're going to have to wait and see. But at least this provides opportunity. And if it doesn't work out that way, you get Andre Dillard back in October. You have him for the rest of the season. And you're set at left tackle. And you have some good depth pieces. And if you decide to move him, like I said before, I believe Andre Dillard can start on a lot of teams at left tackle, especially the Dallas Cowboys. So, there's a possibility you could trade him to somebody, not Dallas, but somebody else. I want a second-round pick. Give me at least a second-round pick. It's going to be interesting. We have football this week. This Thursday, I think it's the Rams-Buffalo. I will be streaming live. Of course, we'll be streaming live on Sunday, the Eagles game. And then, of course, the Sunday night game, I believe, is Dallas-Tampa. We're going to be streaming that. A lot of streams coming up, so make sure, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. And with that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So get this, I had 3 of my fantasy football drafts last week, and one thing became apparent in each and every one of these drafts. Devontae Smith is vastly underrated. I mean vastly underrated. We had drafts where Devontae Smith wasn't going to between the 10th and 12th round. How is that possible? Devontae Smith is going to have a monster year, and he's a steal for most people who are going to be drafting him late. If you haven't had your draft yet, if you still got fantasy draft to do, draft Devontae Smith. I'm telling you, he's going to have a monster year, and people are going to view him as a giant steal, one of the biggest steals in fantasy football this year. I don't understand it. But I tell you what, I got him in 2 out of 3 drafts. Only one draft he went right before I was about to take him. But other than that, Devontae Smith going to have a monster year. With that said, Denzel Washington out.